friends, welcome back to Toddlers at Work. Today I am here again to review few more books, and today's review is on books on festivals, Indian festivals. We have this favorite author called Bhakti Mathur, who's on our shelf right now. I have quite a few titles from this author because my daughter has a lot of fondness towards the stories she's put together. I'm reviewing these three books today. Amma Tell Me About Durga Puja, Amma Tell Me About Diwali, and Amma Tell Me About Holi. I will probably start with Amma Tell Me About Durga Puja. These books are, most of these books are under Amma Tell Me About series. That's how Bhakti Mathur has put it together, and all the books have been illustrated by Malshri Somani. And the book has very beautiful illustrations, very children friendly, and they have kind of, divided the festivals and stories of mythological characters under different heads. So there are multiple books under this Amma Tell Me series, which you can say, and they have recently even come up with Hindi titles as well of the same stories. Earlier only English titles were available. Now you can see that Amma Tell Me About Diwali and Amma Kahe Kahani Diwali, both are available. So as per your preference, as per your choice, you can opt for whichever language you would want to introduce your child to, and you can go ahead. I really like the way they introduce the first introduction page of the book is there. So this book is about Amma Tell Me About Durga Puja, and they start with Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Marupen Sansita, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupen Sansita, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shanti Rupen Sansita, Namastasya Namastasya Namo Namah. So the text is given in Hindi and English both. Book has beautiful illustrations, and the entire stories in this book revolve around Klaka and Kiki, who are sitting with their Amma, and they have been insisting Amma to tell them stories, and they keep asking many questions about the story, which is the book all about. So this book about Durga Puja has beautiful illustrations, beautiful content. The vocabulary is very good but little advanced in certain areas. The text is completely rhyming. So this Durga Puja story covers, the importance of all 9 days, what is done on each day, then, children of Ma Durga, how she leaves her house and comes down to earth, and how all the festivities takes place, what all is done, what kind of fasting is done, what kind of other rituals takes place during Ma Durga's puja, and then then later how Ma Durga is sent back. So again, Klaka and Kliki here ask questions to their Amma that how Ma Durga came into its being. So beautifully they have done. I will probably read in a little expert from here wherein I would like to share how beautifully rhyming this book is. They realized that there was no easy way to defeat the demon army and end the strife. Their strength came to naught against Mahisha as long as Brahma's broom protected his life. A divine meeting was then urgently called, for the gods needed to form a new plan. To face Mahisha and Vishnu, we need one who's not God, not beast, not man. Shiva and Brahma nodded in their approval. They understood at once what Vishnu meant. The all-powerful trio then came together to join their energies in single-minded intent. From Brahma's brow emerged a bright flame, Shiva's third eye emitted a dazzling light. Vishnu radiated a ray of calm, blue energy. Oh, what an utterly mesmerizing sight! The triple powers upon coming together fused into a blaze brighter than the sun, and from it arose a wondrous radiant being, not God, not beast, not man, but a woman. 10 tough arms, eyes like hot embers, long tresses as dark as the darkest night. Thus was created the magnificent Durga, a super goddess unmatched in her might. So you can see, how beautifully, rhythmically the content has been given, still communicating the essence of everything. Whenever I read this section, it really gives me goosebumps. I'm a staunch follower of Ma Durga and a strong believer into her. So this is, along with my daughter, my favorite too. It's very beautifully done up. book, I would highly recommend one of these in case you would really want to explain children about Navratri and how and why do we celebrate Durga Puja. Next is Diwali. So here again, Clarka and Clicky insist they are celebrating Diwali, and then later on they insist that as usual to Amma, that they want to know why do we celebrate Diwali and tell us about Diwali. So this covers a small thing from Ramayana, that how Ram went to Vanvas and what all happened, and then later why do we celebrate Diwali upon his return to Ayodhya. So beautifully, and here they have captured this small short thing about Ma Goddess Lakshmi, that how it's not necessary for somebody to have a very fancy house. So Ma Lakshmi visits somebody who is very hardworking and respects their work and is diligent. So it's not necessarily that somebody's house has to be fancy and well lit up only for Ma Lakshmi to visit them. But very beautifully they have captured this story and how she wishes, and then later on Clarka Clicky they dream about Ma Lakshmi visiting them. This is another book which I can really recommend. And then the next comes is Amma Tell Me About Holi. So here that children are waiting, they are playing with everyone, and then how this festival came into its being, that that why this was celebrated. So how Krishna started off this festival of Holi, how earlier the holy colors used to be gulal and abir, and they were made from leaves of the palash trees, and how different colors were made. Why do we burn holika? So it talks about it gives here a small short story about Hiranyakashyap and Prahlad, that how Prahlad used to be a firm believer into Lord Vishnu, and how Hiranyakashyap didn't accept that fact, and then what all he put his child through, but always Lord Vishnu came to save him. And very beautifully done up, very nicely highlighted, and you can see the pictures, you can see the illustration. The child can very well relate. Again here the entire baseline of these stories is rhythmic content which really catches your attention. For example, here when Holika sits with Prahlad, this is how it goes. Evil Holika, whom no fire could harm, finally decided it was her turn to help her brother. She would end Prahlad's life by making him burn. With Prahlad in her lap, she sat on logs of wood used for a pyre and laughed wickedly at the boy as the king's men lit the fire. Brave Prahlad stayed calm as he chanted Vishnu's name. Lo and behold, he was untouched, while Holika perished in the flame. Why did Holika's magic fail her? Because her aim was to harm. Only when used to help others does power work like a charm. So you see how beautifully they have put the entire content together and explained the essence of story and why do we celebrate Holi. So other titles which you can see here are Diwali, Ramayana, Krishna, how Krishna fought the demons, how Krishna defeated Kansa, then how Ganesha came into being, about Hanumana, how Hanumana crossed the oceans, and another title is Hanumana's Adventures in Lanka. So you can definitely select which language you would want to opt for these particular titles, and you can definitely introduce these Indian festival stories to your child. And I somehow believe in that instead of exposing the children to visual media, books are always a better medium to let them know, and it's always good to have your child sit along with you and do reading to them. That memories will always stay with them lifelong. I would really recommend you all to resort to books for everything possible with your child. Help them develop their vocabulary, help them build love for reading, and please do not associate reading with studying. There is a vast difference in studying and reading. This would really help open up their minds, let them think, and definitely when we read to them about festivals, about history, it helps children associate that what were the mistakes made, what good things were done. They would be able to differentiate between the right and the wrong. So it is very important as a parent, as a caregiver, for you to sit with your child and read to them. Wish you all a very happy reading, and I will keep sharing more books which we have on our shelf with you for your child. Thank you so much.